said that the fact that you're endorsing George really doesn't matter much because no one really liked you. What's your response?
You know, it's hard to respond to something like that. You know, I am very grateful for the fact that the people of this state somehow managed to like me enough to give me the privilege to be its governor for 12 years. And I think the people in the southern tier, the people in the Hudson Valley know that I care deeply about this state. And that's why I believe George Phillips should be the next congressman.
What are your thoughts on the Republicans taking over the majority in Congress?
Well, I think it's very important that we have a majority in Congress, first of all, that isn't going to be dictated to by Nancy Pelosi. Second, that isn't going to think that they are smarter and know more than the American people and want to tell us how to lead our lives. And I think it's absolutely essential that we reverse the policies that have created record deficits, that demonize small businesses and impose burden after burden on small businesses so we don't have the jobs that we need, and that don't try to tell us that government should run every health care decision for every family in America. You know, I love the southern tier, and I've been traveling with people not from New York State, and they're just blown away by the beauty and the tremendous lifestyle in upstate New York. But you have to have a job. And when you have a government in Washington that imposes enormous burdens under the health care bill on small businesses, that raises taxes on small businesses, that imposes a greater regulatory burden on small businesses, we don't have new jobs. And we need them. We need them here in the southern tier, we need them in the state, and we need them in the country. And we need a majority in Congress that understands that it's not fake stimulus and the government borrowing trillions of dollars that create jobs. It's the small business person investing in hiring 2 or 3 or 4 or 100 new workers. That's what we need.
Speaking of jobs, you had mentioned that you're happy in the private sector.
Yes.
Any thoughts in the back of your head of maybe getting back into this?
Well, I got one thought right now, and that is by November 2nd, we have got to win these elections because we've just seen what one-party rule in Washington has done. And it's created record deficits, record unemployment, and now they're trying to dictate health care policy for every single American family. And we've seen what one-party rule is doing in Albany. And it's just tragic what how the mismanagement and misgovernance is coming out of Albany. We need to, in my view, restore bipartisanship in Washington and in Albany. And the way to do that is to stop having everybody in Albany controlled by the Democrats and everyone in Washington in Albany controlled by the Democrats.
How many other campaign stops like this have you made today or this week?
Well, today we've made 3 or 4 more, made a bunch this week, and
what area?
A couple of dozen.
Okay.
in the country, for everything from California to New Hampshire.
What's next?
I don't know. We're gonna be making more stops. I don't know that we've targeted them yet.
Governor, I'm sure you've heard about the questions about gas drilling. It's been very prominent here in the southern tier and throughout the state. I'm pretty sure you may know of Mr. Phillips' position on that. How do you feel about it?
I'm not sure of Mr. Phillips' position, but
yeah, I was did a rig tour. Press reporter accompanied me just 2 days ago. I was down in Towanda, PA, and was amazed at the effort the company Chesapeake was doing to protect the environment, to try to extract natural gas in an environmentally sound manner. I've said I believe we can do it in New York State. We don't need the federal government. Hinchey's trying to bring in the federal government. Let's get the tough regulations in place. But the thing that just amazed me about Towanda, that small town, was jobs. Jobs everywhere. Building roads, construction workers, trucks, transporting equipment and materials, and of course the jobs on the site, office jobs. It was a boom down there, and I think we need it in New York State.
I was in eastern Pennsylvania in the shale area last week campaigning for members of the House, and they were telling us that they believe they're going to have $1 trillion in economic activity as a result of the shale gas. And one of them was a farmer, and he was telling me how they put together a coalition of farmers, and they were getting over $5,600 an acre for the drilling rights. I think everyone knows my environmental record while I was the governor of New York, and I put a very high priority on protecting the incredible natural beauty of the southern tier in this country. But I do believe, without doubt, that we should be drilling and can be drilling in the Marcellus Shale in a way that is both environmentally sound and economically beneficial to the people of this state, of this region, and of the country. Certainly we have to look at things like the New York City watershed and be protective. And as George Phillips was saying, we have to have the appropriate regulation and oversight. But with that, there's absolutely no reason why we should pass up on this incredible economic opportunity for jobs, for growth, and for prosperity in the southern tier and in this state.
Thank you.
And again, a little bit more, Haley was saying it earlier, do you have any future plans for getting back into politics?
You know, my future plans go to November 2nd, and I hope November 2nd I'm talking with George Phillips and celebrating his election to Congress from the southern tier of New York State. Beyond that, we'll see what may or may not happen.